you're looking very bright today.
Oh, thanks. I'm repping our old mate Leon Watts with his car club, but don't forget, we do t-shirts as well.
Oh, stop flogging your t-shirts. Tell us what cars you've got for us today.
Today, Tiff, we got two brand new SUVs, one from Mercedes, one from Audi.
Don't we already have enough SUVs in this world?
These are different. These are all electric. So from the oldest car manufacturing world, Mercedes-Benz been around since 1886 when you were a young lad.
Yeah. But I mean, Audi have been around since 1899, so the point is...
Well, despite having all that time on their hands, they've been very late to get to the EV game. You've got the likes of Nissan, Tesla. They've been building modern EVs for over a decade now, whereas these two old-timers are only just catching up. So the question is, has it been worth the wait?
Well, there's only one way to find out: to drive them. You take the Audi, I'll take the Mercedes.
Oh, a very mature choice, Tiff.
Flipping millennials.
Actually, he's far too old to be a millennial. Anyway, time to hit the road. And first up, the EQC. Prices start at £65,720 with the entry-level sport model.
But pretty much everyone is going to want to go for the AMG line premium package, which will set you back about £6,700 and brings with you luxuries like Burmester sound system, all the AMG styling touches, but most importantly of all, Apple CarPlay. I can't live without it, and I can't believe that the entry level doesn't have Apple CarPlay. Of course, other Android mixture things are available.
The e-Tron offers a much wider range with both the 50 and the 55 models, and there's a Sportback version to choose from as well. Prices for the less powerful 50 version of this car start from a smidge over £60,000. However, if you want to challenge the EQC, you need to spend at least £70,000, which is £5,000 more than the cheapest EQC. This is the £72,000 sport version. However, if you want to go full hog and get a fully loaded Vorsprung edition car, which basically just ticks every single box on the options list, you can say goodbye to at least £92,000.
So the Audi is the more expensive car, but how do they stack up against each other when it comes to performance? Well, both of them, when you combine the power from the motor at the front and the motor at the back, have a total of 300 kilowatts of power, which to you and me is 402 horsepower. Hence, this Mercedes being called the 400 4MATIC. But the Mercedes has got 765 Newton meters of torque compared to the Audi's 664. So the Merc gets to 62 in just 5.1 seconds, 0.6 of a second quicker than the Audi.
So we know how fast they are, but how far will they go? Audi says this e-Tron 55 with its 95 kilowatt hour battery has a theoretical range of 271 miles, but in reality that's probably closer to 200 miles before you have to consider plugging it in. The EQC, on the other hand, with its smaller 80 kilowatt hour battery, has a theoretical range of 259 miles, which is 12 less than the Audi, but like its rival, you're going to be looking for chargers a lot sooner than that.
But when it comes to topping up, the Audi's got a trick up its sleeve, because it can charge at 150 kilowatts, meaning it can go from virtually empty to 80% full in just 25 minutes, if you can find a charger that's fast enough. While the Mercedes can only charge 110 kilowatts, so it takes 35 minutes to do the same thing. Mind you, if you've got a 7.5 kilowatt charger at home, both will take around 13 hours to top up, so there isn't really that much difference between the two when it comes to charging. Hello, Paul. I'm pretty much done in this Mercedes. Can I come and try your Audi, please?
Enough of all the stats. Two very evenly matched cars. But how do they feel on the road? And what will your passengers think?
So Tiff, welcome to the Audi e-Tron.
First impressions, it's noisier than the Mercedes. You know that old electric motor sound?
Yeah.
You've got none of that in the Mercedes. It's as quiet as anything. Steering's got less feel, bit sort of heavier but less sensitive. And what's this? How do I cover this hole up?
Can't cover
What?
that, I know. It's a bit of an elephant in the room, really. It's
What?
all very snazzy with that new gear lever
Yeah, that was a bit
and
weird.
that big hole there. I just think that needs to be covered. It should be covered. Watch out, corner here.
This
See how
is
it corners?
firmer than the Mercedes. Well, the ride. What ride have you left me on? Are we on
I've
comfort?
left you in sport mode. So
Oh,
you're in
come on,
sport.
come on.
So
Where's comfort?
if
Where's
you
my
click,
modes?
Click that special gear lever down once more towards me.
Yeah.
There we go. You're in normal drive mode now, so that's comfort. And then once more, go into sport. So on the bottom left, under the haptic feedback
Oh, yeah,
screen,
yeah.
there you go. They're all
Okay.
haptic feedback. The modes.
Haptic. Is this the new trendy word? I've never heard of it before today.
Well, all cars now have got it, sadly, because I like the old clickety-clack of a button. So that's it. You go scroll through the modes.
Yeah, but I've got to look down too much. I'm always terrified.
It's funny, isn't
I'll
it?
leave it on comfort. I'm leaving it on comfort.
Comfort's quite good. It's actually quite a hard ride, I
Yeah,
think. Even on
but
comfort.
you get the Mercedes is softer. Steering is lighter. This is quite sort of chunky. Oh,
It's-
now lifted off, I've got regen.
Okay, well, here, let me tell you something. Your flappy paddles that you're familiar with on either side, if you click down on the left-hand side as many times as you can, then lift off the accelerator, that's going to make the regen much harsher. It's not quite one pedal driving, but can you feel that, Tiff?
Yeah, but then that's exactly the same system as Mercedes then. They've done
Okay.
the same system, using the paddles.
What do you think of the interior? Audi interiors, I think, are very good, very strong, very well made.
On that setting now, I've got a lot of sort of rather childish, big square icons in red and blue. I think the Mercedes got a classier interior. This massive seating and fan, is that sort of, can't make that smaller or disappear completely, can I?
Not the bottom one, but the top one, of course, you can
Off.
change, and you can put your Apple CarPlay or you can put your Android Auto on if you want to as well, connect your phones.
Do Audi buyers have to pay extra for Apple CarPlay?
It's included in the price.
AMG, you have to pay the extra AMG line premium in the Mercedes to get
Wow.
Apple CarPlay.
Wow. So did you have to put the seat right the way forward because I got really long legs when you jumped in?
In your dreams.
Well, speaking of long legs, okay, they're not the longest, I'll grant you that, but plenty of room in the back. But needs a social distance from you in some way or shape or form, but there's plenty
As
of
far
room
as
here.
I'm concerned, the further away from me you are, the better. I can't decide on this regen, because you really loved that Honda recently. Now that's one of these sort of one pedal. So if I go maximum regen, I'm sort of moving towards the one pedal. Now do you like that?
I don't dislike it. It's a very intuitive type of driving sensation. You do get used to it, and I find myself going into a corner where you'd normally click down a few gears and actually clicking down on the regen, and it does slow you down enough to, yeah, so I...
You should be a Formula E racer. That's the skill of Formula E racing. You brake with your regen. Trouble is when you rush up to a corner, I always want to change down.
Change down now, use a regen, change down, go on.
Well, I'm regenning, I'm braking, I'm doing everything, and whoa, whoa. Oh no, it's
quite
not quite as sharp as the Mercedes.
But it's quite flat, I think.
Yeah, I agree, but it rolls more than the Mercedes. It seems
Okay.
to be stiff for a bump, and yet slightly more rolly in the corners.
I think it's time we went in the Mercedes.
Yeah, but then you're going to drive the Mercedes.
It feels, is this 2.5 tons, this one as well? It feels lighter, this one, doesn't it?
Ah, you see straight away you're feeling the best. Listen to the quietness. No engine whining.
It wasn't the engine whining, it was the motors whining and just letting you know that
Well, motors are engines in cars. They're electric, aren't they? They call them engines or just motors.
motors, electric motors. It is quieter actually. It feels much lighter. It feels a lot livelier.
I'm glad you're seeing what I meant. And how about the interior? Do you not immediately feel, wow, this is a little bit more relaxing, a bit classier?
No, I don't. What's that? That's the funniest surface I've ever seen on a
That's
dashboard.
leather, Paul. I know you probably use plastic normally, but that is leather. It's called leather.
It looks like a handbag. It looks like a lady's handbag with these little brassy bits on it as well. Steering wheel's nice. I like the steering wheel, but the interior, no, I don't think this is classy at all. You've got this two big screens. That's almost a bit of an anticlimax because you've got so much black around it.
I like black. I like darkness when I'm driving. I don't want all these colours. And that's much more relaxing.
I love the old clickety-clack of the switches, as I said earlier, but I don't know, the Audi is definitely more space age inside. I thought that was going to be, this big IMAX of screens was going to be more impressive, but it just seems a bit, a little bit out of
But
date.
oh look, Paul, they've filled in the armrest.
Much
no
better.
big hole.
Absolutely, much better. Steering wheel much better. It feels
Yeah.
a lot.
Be careful of
sportier.
the little buttons though, Paul. You might suddenly get Siri interrupting you like she did me.
You must have very fat hands, because why are your hands over these buttons? They should never be over these buttons.
Well, I'm just a bit more, I'm a bit more like that with my hands.
10 to 2 is where you need to
how'd
be.
you like the cornering there?
What, what mode am I in here, Tiff? Because that seemed to lean quite a bit more than I
A
expected.
little letter, but right by your regen dials, a little C or sport.
Yeah, I'm in C.
It's just comfort. You're in comfort.
Okay, well, we're sport then. Let's crank it up a little bit. There we go. Dynamic, eco, sport. Right, let's see how. Oh, oh, this regenerative. I just clicked down. That's a lot.
Which one are you
different.
on? You can look at the little letters just to the right-hand dial at the bottom. Where you see the D plus, D minus, D minus.
I'm on a D minus minus.
Oh yeah, that is the big regen.
Ooh, that's
So that when you lift off, you see how the regen dial goes right the way around.
Oh, that's proper. That's like proper one for braking.
Yeah,
This.
it's different, isn't it? It's got 4 choices as opposed to the Audi's only got 3.
There isn't that sort of emphasis to want to get in and go for a drive.
Yeah.
Petrol heads want to jump in the car. People don't understand it. Some people like fishing, some people like knitting. I like to go for a drive. Jump in the car and go for a drive, but you're not going to jump in this and think, oh, let's go for a drive.
So what do you think of the ride quality in this compared with the Audi?
I think the Audi is firmer than this.
Yeah.
This is a bit smoother around the corners, but you can throw it into corners a bit more. You feel like you can throw this one. It feels lighter, but it's still, the Audi's 2.5 tons. How heavy is this one?
They're almost identical.
I quite like the driving position. I like the little steering wheel on this. What about in the back? You got plenty of room in the back?
Yeah, good leg room, good headroom, but there's this transmission tunnel. Because of course this is so much based on the GLC. So we haven't got the flat floor, which of course electric cars give, the walk-through floor. So that's showing that it's more of another model than a complete electric car, like of course the I-Pace and the Tesla are. Bit of electric surge then, Paul, did you? Just wanted to snap my neck back. I mean, they are impressive electric cars for that overtaking ability. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that instant power, especially when you consider the weight of the cars as well, these big SUVs. All those batteries in the car. Actually, do you know, I think the Audi with that air suspension corners flatter, but this feels like you go around a corner faster, which is...
I felt there's more roll in the Audi. They're so close, aren't they? They really are.
You know, I think one of the things with electric cars is, for the driver it's okay, because if you put that instant acceleration down, your throttle down to overtake, but for the passengers, it's quite an odd sensation, isn't it?
It's not pleasant for passengers. Electric torque, there's all this raving about instant torque. We'll soon have your mother-in-law getting pretty upset with your driving style.
Asking you to pass the sick bag.
It's just, if you go down, you press the throttle down, it's, whoa, see, I don't like that. Oi, slow down.
So that's the driving experience, but which one wins the beauty contest?
Tough choice, really, isn't it? Got same sort of range, 260, 270 miles. Same price, £72,000. Same horsepower, around about 400 horsepower.
But the Mercedes with more torque was quicker by quite a considerable margin to 62. It's faster. And I prefer the interior as well. I've got to say the Audi, I can't get on with the big hole in the middle, that centre console with the big coloured buttons for fans up and down. Where's that Mercedes? It's just nice and classy. And it's got better regen, so when you're driving it, you're a one-pedal electric man. You love that Honda. That gives you more one-pedal ability.
I love the regen. See, I love the interior on the Audi. I think it's fantastic. I'm with you on the centre console. Why that's not covered up? Mercedes, always classy interiors. That's a classy interior as well. Give you that on the regen.
And then from the outside, which would you rather have adorning your front drive, your large front drive? Because for me, again, the Audi had a more fussy interior, it's got a more fussy exterior. I mean, this nose,
funny,
look, it's got one, two,
stylish here.
3, 4, 5, 6, it's got about, it's big. And whereas the Mercedes is smoother look, nice, rounded.
In some ways, it looks a little bit B-classy because it's so smooth and small.
B-classy?
It looks smaller. A little bit.
I'll tell you what I don't like. Is this running plate with the aluminium in the holes reflecting in the side doors? It just takes...
Running plates, look at you.
That's still the right word, running board then.
Running boards. The practicality of the Audi a little bit better because you've got charging points either side on the wings, so that's quite
Fair
nice.
enough.
I think for practicality, that's a big tick in the box for the Audi. You know what, these two cars is hard to choose because they're so similar, but I'm going to make you choose.
Well, they are both impressive big electric cars, but I wouldn't have either of them, to be honest, because for £72,000, I can still have a Jaguar I-Pace, which, okay, is a bit of less accommodation in the back, but it's faster, it's nippier, smaller, so I think the I-Pace. And you?
Well, for me, it's the easiest decision I've ever had to make in a two-car comparison ever.
What? You're a Tesla man, don't tell me. You like the gull-wing doors?
Tiff, I tell you what, I wouldn't choose either. I love that little Honda E, it was brilliant, but if I'm going to buy an electric car, I don't want to buy something this big and it just doesn't fit right for me. It doesn't suit my lifestyle. The Honda E I would buy in a heartbeat, but this, I wouldn't choose either. Simple.
I actually don't think the range is big enough. People talk about you need 300-mile range. 200 miles isn't enough.
When the electric world's ready, I'll be ready. The reality is, if you had a lifestyle that suited an electric car, both of these are brilliant machines. They're well built, stylish and futuristic, and the choice really comes down to your own personal preference of manufacturer and the style of the car. But, as I have the last word for a change, if charging away from your home wasn't such a headache and I had to choose just one, for me, I would take the Audi.